The City and County of Broomfield has a lot of beautiful open space and parks. That open space and park area has been integrated into our entire community. So we have also a lot of wildlife that people can enjoy in the community. But with that, also, sometimes we can have conflicts. The purpose of this video is to talk a little bit about how citizens can coexist with wildlife.
Coyotes in Colorado typically range between 20 and 50 pounds. They can range from a light tan color all the way to a dark gray color. They are most active during the dawn and dusk hours. However, they can be out at any time of day or night. Coyotes can also be either alone or in pairs or in packs of up to 10 animals. It just depends on what they're preying on at the given time, and it's not abnormal to see multiple coyotes together. If you see a coyote walking down your street, the best thing to do is to try and haze it away or scare it away and make it feel unwelcome in your neighborhood. Communities with a lot of open space around will attract coyotes, and even though it's not ideal that they are in neighborhoods, they will enter neighborhoods if there's food and if there's shelter, which there is in Broomfield and a lot of places.
In the neighborhoods, you find a great source of food. You have trash, you have pet food that may be left out on your deck, you have bird seed that's fallen from the feeder because it's been windy. All those types of things attract wildlife. And for example, the bird seed attracts rabbits into your backyard who may eat that. Then the coyotes follow the rabbits, eat the bird seed, eat the rabbits. As far as your pets in your backyard, a 6-foot fence is a great thing to have. But many people just have a split rail fence or no fence at all, so leaving your dog out alone even for just a few minutes, particularly at dusk or dawn, is not a good thing to do, and you could lose your pet.
The mating season is a time when we definitely see an increase in calls about conflicts with coyotes, typically involving pets. So the mating season runs from late January until March. And at that time, they're establishing pairs, they're establishing territories, and they will defend those territories. So sometimes they can see pets, and sometimes even humans as a threat to those territories. We definitely tend to see an increase in calls during that time of year. And during April and May, when the pups are born, they're also going to be defending their pups. So if there's a den next to a popular trail, or if you happen to walk your dog next to a den site or an active territory, the coyote may come out and defend that territory or the pups. So generally, we definitely discourage the feeding of all wildlife. There's a lot of reasons why. Feeding of wildlife, particularly coyotes and foxes, can habituate those animals to people and to residential areas, and they can lose their fear of humans and realize that hanging out in a yard or a schoolyard or around houses is an okay place to be. And when that happens, sometimes these animals can become aggressive because they're expecting a handout, and if you feed wildlife, you're not only affecting yourself but also your neighbors. A lot of the issues we have with conflicts and with aggressive behavior by coyotes comes from the direct feeding of these animals.
Animal control for the City and County of Broomfield mainly handles domesticated animals and issues and ordinances governing pet ownership. We do get calls from citizens about wildlife questions, and typically we will direct those questions to the Colorado Division of Wildlife.
Most of our calls are merely just let us know of a wildlife sighting, that type of thing, occasional encounters, but there's not a lot we can do besides passing information. Most of the calls that we get, we will refer them to Division of Wildlife, their website, wildlife masters, that type of thing for information so they can deal with the issue at hand. Wildlife Masters is a cooperative extension of the Colorado State University, where they specialize in research and dissemination of information regarding wildlife. We have a local phone number that folks can call to get additional information they may not be able to find on Division of Wildlife's website.
People will call us with their questions about what do I do if I see a coyote on the pathway and I've got my dog on a leash, and in that case we encourage them and give them information that Division of Wildlife has given us about keeping your dog on a 6-foot leash, as well as hazing the coyote whenever you see it, that is, yelling at it. The City and County of Broomfield does have a leash law for all of the county.
The reason for keeping your dog on a leash is that it really prevents your dog from having an altercation with the coyote. With the leash, you have control of your animal and you can keep it safe.
Having a dog on a leash prevents those altercations between bicyclists who are on the path, as well as those who are walking, who may not be particularly fond of dogs or feel uncomfortable around dogs. Not that necessarily that they hate the animals, but they're there to enjoy the trails as well. So, you know, with your dog on a leash, that reassures that person that you've got control of that animal. Having a leash law definitely improves the quality of life for our citizens in the city and county of Broomfield.
If you have a small dog, you really want to keep that dog on a leash, as you do with any dog. But if you do see a coyote, the best thing to do is just pick up that little critter and hold it so that the dog is in no way close to the coyote, and turn and walk away. You can also take a can, put some coins in it, shake it, clap your hands, tell the coyote to go, 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 get out of here. Those are all things that you want to do when you see a coyote and you're walking and the coyote is very close.
Cats are considered free roaming. We do not have a leash law for cats. The problem with that, though, is it puts your cat at risk if you allow your cats just to roam free in the city. With that said, we encourage everybody to keep their cats indoors. The cats, they will become coyote, meals for coyote, other animals. Free roaming cats may cause some damage to other people's homes, that type of thing, which we can enforce if we can figure out whose cat it is. But as you know, that may be difficult to do.
The Open Space and Trails staff work together with several concerned residents to try to put together a group of volunteers that can go out to some of the neighborhoods where we've had the most conflicts with coyotes, and just establish a presence during the hours where a lot of residents are out walking their dogs and when there's more likely to be conflicts, typically dawn and dusk. These volunteers will just talk to residents about keeping their dogs on leash and avoiding attractants to coyotes, passive hazing techniques such as noisemakers or flashing lights, or just ways to scare off coyotes that have become habituated. If someone wanted more information about joining one of the volunteer coyote groups, they would contact the Open Space and Trails staff with the City and County of Broomfield.
We're working on a coexistence policy that covers all different types of wildlife, but the coyote is certainly one of the key species that we wanted to address in this policy. The purpose of the policy is to talk about the appreciation of wildlife, increasing some understanding among our citizens about wildlife, and also to explain to them what does the City and County of Broomfield do when we have conflicts with wildlife, so that they know that there will be some type of a response.
The Colorado Division of Wildlife website has a lot of information on coyotes and behavior and what they look like, how to avoid conflicts, and how to minimize attractants around your home. So there's a lot of good information about that topic on our website.